Good morning. We're going to begin laying down and use a long, narrow blanket under the shoulder blade. Starting a little bit early. Beginning laying down, long, narrow blanket under your shoulder blade. And position the blanket or yourself so that your shoulder blades feel like they're snug against the back ribs. And you're comfortable in the back of the neck. So if this equipment under your chest is too high, it'll feel like you have to squash the back of the neck to reach the floor. So lower that equipment, take a fold out of it or use a towel, or even if it's too strong, just use the flat of the floor. Or you can add another blanket in under your neck. So you want to find that feeling where the breath is flowing through the throat without feeling scratchy or like it's getting caught. And you can take your arms straight out from the shoulders out to the side. We'll bring the feet together into Baddha Konasana and knees out wide. Feeling the expansion of the ribs with each breath. And let your body really give in the equipment. Noticing where you might be holding tension from your morning activities. Good. And then we're going to stretch the arms and legs out to straight, palms facing. Again, feeling that deep breath in the chest. Good. And then releasing and gently rolling off to the side so that you can come up to an all fours position. Forward Virasana, where the blanket was behind the shoulder blades, feeling that shape in your upper back. Can you let the chest relax a little broader and longer, the armpits broader, the neck relax? And we're going to bring that shape in the upper back into kneeling up. And so you might need extra padding under your knees. Kneeling up and right foot forward. Good. And we're going to put the hands on the floor, either side of your front foot. Have your legs parallel and your feet parallel, and start to gently swing the hips forward and back. As you start to swing back, bring the front foot so that the toes come off the floor. You can walk your hands back to support. We'll try to keep the hips level to the floor and have enough padding under your left knee. Good. How did you go with that shape in the upper back? It's very easy to lose it here trying to reach the floor. Keeping that sense of the bones of the spine embedding forward. Good. And then we're going to lift up and swap sides. So left leg forward and just starting to drop the hips forward and take the hips back. Finding that easy feeling in your upper back. Good. Lifting your left toes up off the floor as you reach back, so you'll feel that waking up. Or maybe they're already awake, the hamstring. Good. And stepping that foot back and forward virasana. Good. Find that shape again in your upper back. Look forward, bring your elbows to the floor, bring the knees in so they're about hip width, tuck the toes under and lift your knees just off the floor. So keep looking forward. You feel the core of the body engaging here. And taking child's pose now. Letting the upper back lengthen, the back of the neck lengthen. Good, and then take the arms all the way forward. Great. We're going to lift up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Start off with heels high, knees bent. Stretch the fingers out wide, feel the fingerprints. Elbows a little bit bent. Good, and work the chest towards the front of the legs. Feel the satisfying breath. Try to keep the weight on the inside edge of the hands rather than the outside edge of the hand. Long, straight fingers. Good. And pressing your heels down now. Lifting your sit bones. Good. And we're going to take little tiny steps. Pressing the heels down. Little tiny steps forward. And then little tiny steps back. Even walk the feet further back than you can get your heels to the floor, but aim for the floor. So you're in a really long distance here. Good, and then little tiny steps forward. Pressing the heels down. Doesn't matter if they don't connect, but feeling that intensity in the back of the leg. Good, and back again. Here's my garbage truck. Good, and then feet forward. And we're going to walk all the way forward. And rolling up. Up. And as you exhale, Tadasana. Mm. Good. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, we're going to come into Uttanasana. Just checking in that you can easily move your back. So bend your knees, maybe make some little spinal wave movements, or even just a wriggle around in your upper back. Reminding yourself of that suppleness and the subtle movement available. Good. Now we are going to be stepping back. So if you like to put your hands on the seat of a chair, just come up and grab yourself the seat of a chair. Otherwise, we're going to put the hands down onto the floor. Great. And we'll step back the left foot. Nice big step. So you might not have your back heel on the floor, but you will press it down towards the floor. We've got the front leg bent. Feet are about hip width from side to side, parallel feet. Strong in your front leg, so right thigh squeezing the femur. Good. And we're going to take the arms up beside us, palms facing up, and look forward. Good. Feel that lovely shape again in your upper back. Nice. We're going to inhale, press into your leg, lift the torso, lift the arms. The palms will just float up and face forward, palms face forward. Draw the shoulder blades down and look up. Good. And then we're going to exhale and come back to that first position, reaching the torso over the front leg, lifting the palms up to the ceiling. Lift the breastbone. Feel that upper back shape. Good. Strong legs lift up again. Pressing into your feet. Lifting up, looking up. Good. And one more, reaching forward. Lift the arms up beside you, palms face up. Look forward, breath in. Beautiful. We're going to step forward, balance on the right foot, and bring the left foot in front. Ooh, that's a hard one this morning. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Press the hands. Good. So you might have your tiptoes on the floor. You might be trying to lift your foot up off the floor, even lift the knee high. Good. And then Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Just remind yourself for a moment of your supple movement in your upper back. So we're not in a rigid state in our forward bend. Feel vital, movable, easeful. Good. Bring your hands onto your support, chair or floor. Step the right foot back. So nice big step. Remember, you might not have your back heel on the floor, but press it down in that direction. Find your footing. Feet hip width parallel. And really powerfully use the left thigh muscles to squeeze against the femur bone. Nice. Okay, strong legs, strong core of the body. Feel the pelvic floor lift into the body cavity. Lift the arms up, palms face up, look forward. And pressing into your feet and feeling the legs to be powerful. Lift the torso, lift the arms, your palms face forward, and look up. Lift the breastbone. Good. As you exhale, reach the torso forward, lift the belly out and over the front thigh. Reaching forward again, lift the arms up beside you, palms face up, lift the breastbone. Strong legs. Good. Inhale, lift up. Torso lifts, arms lift, look up. Good. You can be as deeply bent into that front knee as feels good for your body. Again, arms lift up beside you, palms are lifting, lift the breastbone. Good, we're going to do one more on that side. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, reach your torso forward. Whoa, reach the arms back beside you. And we're going to step forward. So start to lift up. Bring the right leg forward, hands in front of the heart, and balancing onto the left leg. Ooh. Good, and then find Tadasana, feet underneath you. Feel the strength in the front of the legs, the lift there, the breastbone lifts, top of the head, the grounding of the back body, shoulder blades down, tailbone down, heels down. Feel the movement of the breath. And plenty of room for the chest to expand, so upper arms out, arms in. Enjoying that stance. Great. And then inhale, arms up, look up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana again. Good. We'll step the left foot back, same sort of distance. Press the back heel, bend the front leg. This time we're going to lift the arm by the side, palms facing up to the ceiling, lift the breastbone, look forward, similar to last time. But we're going to drop the back knee. Now you only drop that as far as your knee is capable of without pain, and keep the leg parallel. Good, and then we're going to try and keep the knee dropped and lift the torso, lift the arms. And looking up. Good, and then torso forward, arms up by the side again, palms up, so we keep the back knee in that bent position this time. Good, feel the core of the body strong, the legs are stable. Inhale, lift up, look up. Good, another. And lifting up. Nice work. We're going to step forward from here, from being in the lifted position. Bring the hands in front of the heart, stepping forward and balancing onto the right leg. Whoa. Left foot in front. Whatever position you decide to take, you can even hold on to your knee. And release. Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Easing the spine. Good. Right leg steps back. Nice big step. Find your footing. Bend your front leg. Bend your back knee. You only need to bend as far as your body's comfortable with, listening to your body. Really keeping your parallel limbs. Nice. Lift the breastbone, look forward, bring the arms up beside you, palms up. So we have to hold our balance. You have to understand that, what's going on in the feet, the legs, the core of the body. Keep the back leg bent, lift the torso, lift the arm. Looking up. Beautiful. Reach the torso forward, arms up beside you, lift the palms, lift the breastbone, look forward. Good, and then lifting up again. And as you exhale, reach the torso forward, arms up beside you. Good. Last one. Lift up, lift the breastbone, look up, and we're going to step forward from here. Hands together. Stepping forward, balancing onto the left leg. Or wobbling forward onto the left leg. In my case. Both feet planted. Feet under the hips, parallel. Find the satisfaction of the breath. Do an inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. Step your left foot back, and this time it will be for Trikonasana. So you're going to line up the arch of that left foot with your right heel, and quite a distance between your feet, about your own leg length. Good. Hands are on the floor, or maybe they're up on the chair. Now, it's going to be a bit tricky to do this if your hands are on the chair. Let's see. What you're going to do if you're on the chair is just walk your hands over to the left of the chair and then the right of the chair. If your hands are on the floor, walk your hands around almost to the left foot and then back. Have your right leg as bent or straight as feels good. Just warming up the hips a little. Good, walking back and forth, swiveling the torso. Okay, now we're going to straighten the right leg. Great, and we're going to lift the torso all the way up. A nice strong leg. And bring the arms out at shoulder height, Trikonasana. And we've got our hips sort of parallel to that long edge of the mat. That's the direction they're heading in. Good. Just check in that you can swivel a little bit. You can wiggle your upper body. Good, because we're going to lengthen the right ribs and the right arm is going to reach down onto the right leg, left arm. We're looking to really try to lengthen both sides of the waist here. It feels really good to go into a deep stretch, well, mostly. But sometimes we need to back off a little bit and just look at that good alignment. So just feeling how good a contact you have with your feet to the floor, lifting your kneecap, rolling the left hip back, the left rib back, opening your heart to the feeling. Good. Now we're going to sweep the left arm back to the front of the mat. Bend your right leg so that we're looking to the front. Turn your left foot forward so that you will be able to step forward and balance on your right leg. That might mean your tiptoes are on the floor. Any kind of balance. Good. And then feet underneath the hips. Inhale, arms up, look up. As you exhale, Uttanasana. Feeling mobile in your upper back. Good, big step back with the right foot for Trikonasana on this second side. So you're trying to aim your center of the right foot inner arch to the heel to line up with your left heel. Okay, now we've got our hands either on the chair or the floor. We're just going to try and swing the torso a little bit from side to side. So if your hands are on the floor, it's easier to walk them over in the direction of your right foot and then walk them back. Have your left leg where it's comfortable for you, bent or straight. Just working on that flexibility in the left hip. Good. Hands back to the short front of your mat. We're going to straighten the left leg and we're going to lift ourselves up. So really find your feet, find your footing as you lift up. Arms out from the shoulders. And then Trikonasana. Left hand down onto the left leg. Finding that ability to really stand into your feet. Strong legs, lift the kneecaps. Roll the right hip back, the right rib back. See if you can lengthen the left ribs a little more. And then we're going to take the right arm, reach it towards the front of the mat. Good. So you can turn your right foot to face forward, and then you're in a position to step forward and balance on your left leg. Cool. And even if the balance is wobbly, just let go of the sense of struggle. Good. And then both feet on the floor. Nice work. Inhale, arms up, look up. As you exhale, hands in front of your heart. Take a big step back with either foot, whichever one brings you to see your device, and be wide-legged onto your mat. And your toes in. I'm going to take the arms up, look up. And as you exhale, sweep your arms out to the side so your chest feels wide. So you were diving forward. Good. Bring your hands to the outer edge of your legs or feet. And now let your head reach forward, back of the neck long, or reach down. Lift your kneecaps. Press into the outside edge of the feet. Feel each toe connected to the floor. Lift the kneecaps again. Sit bones. Good. Lift the hands up a little from your position so that you can look forward and lift the breastbone. Find that lovely upper back feeling. Good. Now bring your hands to the floor under your shoulders. Walk them out as far as they'll go and try to bring the chest closer to the floor. Armpits lengthening and broadening. Keep the kneecaps lifting. Stay really strong in your legs. Really good awareness. Good work. Now bend your knees. Turn your heels in. We're going to walk the hands back. Lift up. Bring the arms up by your ears. We've got the hips are dropped a little. The knees are bent. Toes are turned out. Lift the pelvic floor. Lift the lower front abdomen. Looking up. Good. And we're going to turn our torso to the left side. Keep taking the knees back. Come back to center. Turn our torso to the right side. Back to center. Turn the torso to the left side. Back to center. And to the right side. Good. And then back to center. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Press them. Draw the shoulder blades down. If you can lift your heels. Lift the pelvic floor. Lift the lower front abdomen. Beautiful. And then releasing. Jump or stamp back to center. Or step. Whatever feels appropriate. On the way to sitting without using our hands, we're just going to try lifting up and down in our little tiny squat that keeps the legs parallel and keeps the heels on the floor. And you don't have to dip down too far. So just checking in that you can keep your heels on the floor, that you can drop the body, the mass of the pelvis, the spine behind you, and you can press into your heels when you come back up. Good. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing and take the feet a little bit wider. Turn the toes out. And you may find it more comfortable, depends on your knees. So you might be able to dip down a little bit lower and keep the heels on the floor. You're not trying to hurt your knees, just taking it easy. Really feeling that power in both the quadriceps and the pressing down of the heels to the floor. Lift the pelvic floor. Good, so up and down. Just getting a handle on what that movement feels like. Great. And then we're going to sit down, and you might be able to use part of that movement and then help yourself with your hands, or whatever way feels intelligent to sit down. So is that last little bit. Take a blanket to sit on, and we're going to sit with the legs out long. I'm in such a habit of facing the other direction from doing this at Hill of Clouds, but then morning light's over here. Can't get used to it. All right. We have straight legs. Press the back of the knees down to the floor. Lift the spine. Good. In fact, try and press your heels down into the floor. Feel the gluteus muscles will start to work. All the muscles in the back of the legs work, and the spine lifts. Press the heels down, press the heels. Great. And then release. Just letting go of all that tension, even wriggle about a little bit. Good. And then we'll do that again. Press the heels. Press the heels, press the heels. You might feel the gluteus muscles engage, and the spine lifts. And we breathe. Good. And then really, really relax. Wriggle around a little bit again. Good. All right. We're going to just explore forward movement. And we're trying not to squash the tummy or make the rainbow shape in the spine where the skin feels tight over the spine. We're trying to keep that easy feeling of the skin over the spine. So the only place we bend is at that hip crease where the skin folds at the top of the leg, the lower part of the abdomen. We're trying to make that fold a little bit deeper. Trying to feel like we're moving onto the front of the sit bone. Now it's a little bit easier to do this if you point your toes away from you. You might find that that just feels like you could move more freely in your hips. Good. Hold the position where you're on the front of your sit bone and your spine feels long. So you might be bending forward there, or you might be upright. Good. Move your hands where they support you, where they make sense. Find the space between the shoulder blades, and did you become rigid there in an effort to take your hands forward? See if you can bring that part of the body into the front, so the bones of the spine, embed them forward. Finding your deep and satisfying breath. Good. And then we're just going to start to sway the torso from side to side. So that's going to distribute the stretch, tension of the stretch across the muscle fibers. Just in one spot. And we're going to move very gently, with compassion. Good. And then releasing. Come back to center and rolling up. Great. I'm going to lay down. Don't need your blanket. Neutral legs, so feet parallel. bring the right knee into your chest. Bring the knee as close as it will go to your chest or your shoulder. And not so much by really pulling it, but by just letting your thigh relax. Good. Now, keep the knee where it is. And you're going to start to bring the toes of that right foot overhead. So you might be just supporting your leg, holding your thigh. Good. Start to feel the straightening of that leg. And use your hands to help you straighten. Good, but don't let the knee come away from you. Then I could straighten the leg, but I'm not going to get the same influence on the hip. So keep the knee in nice and close. Get your leg where you can feel the stretch happening. Take the leg out to the right side. Put your left arm out for a counterweight. Good. Bring the leg back up. Across to the left side. Good. And then back up to center. And then we'll just release that leg. So it's a very mini Supta Padangusthasana. Little quick one. All right, let's go on the left side. And the key here is really letting the left knee as close as it will go to the chest. So wherever that is for you. If it's really almost touching, you start to head it down towards the floor under the armpit. Without really pulling, but rather relaxing the thigh. Okay, now keeping your knee as close to your chest as you can, start to bring the left toes towards the wall behind you or the floor overhead. Oh. Holding as is appropriate, but keeping your upper body as relaxed as you can. Good, and then even try to straighten, but without letting the knee away from that position close to your body. So it should feel pretty intense. If the knee pops away from the body, it's less intense. So it's not going to be straight. It's going to be intense. Keep the chest relaxed, face relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Good. Take the leg now out to the left side. So left leg, left side. Try to keep some weight down in the right core of the body. Good. And then back up to center. And keep the knee in close. And leg across to the right side. Good. And then releasing that side. We're going to do a mini little bamboo pose. So take your blanket and put that in underneath your hips. And test it. It's not for everybody, this posture. If you can balance your knees into your chest and they just feel like they're balanced there, then it's probably good to take them straight up. If you find that you're straining your back or your core, trying to hold your legs there because the hamstrings are tight, then you're better off to keep your blanket under your hips and put your feet on the floor. So feeling which one is giving you the most nourishment in the practice. You might like to try a different arm position, whatever feels good. They can be arms overhead. I really like the cactus one for myself. Might be good for you too. Elbows out from the shoulders, back of the hands towards the floor. Feeling the breath into the belly. again, and then releasing legs and arms and taking out the blanket. Floor twist, arms straight out from the shoulders, inside edges of the feet together, knees together. Just going to do a passive floor twist today. So take the hips right, knees go left, and if they don't reach the floor, put them on a blanket. Right shoulder blade stays on the floor. Face your head in that direction. Taking some deep breaths and using the exhalation to let go of tension. Be aware of the power in the core of the body to squeeze the belly, pelvic floor. So when you lift your leg, there is muscular support for the action of the spine. Lift your hips, swing them left, knees go right. Left shoulder blade stays down and you look in that direction. Using the exhalation to let go. Good, and then awareness at the core of the body as you lift your leg, so that the spine is supported. Beautiful. If you're staying for Shavasana, lay your legs out to straight. If you need to finish your practice, hug your knees in and rock a little. And thank you for joining. Namaste.